Digi owns a whole bunch of shit, so May's always looking at it like, what's this? It's Digi and May's Otacave expedition.
Knock it all over. It's fucking happening. Oh my god. This is dangerous.
You got it, baby.
I got it. I fucking did it. This thing. What's this?
That is Magic Knight Rayearth, Volume 1, Daybreak. So, I know you're familiar with Chobits, and probably Cardcaptor Sakura.
Yes.
This is from the same team. Clamp, the manga group, was one of their early works. I think this is the one that first got them famous, was Magic Knight Rayearth. It's like 39 episodes for the first show, and then there's a second season. I know that people feel like weird about the second season. I think that's more like plot heavy and dark or something like that. I don't know. I haven't seen much of it. I picked this DVD up for $8.99 at a store called Extreme Media. That's not gonna fucking focus on that. Doesn't exist anymore. Extreme Media was some local buy-sell trade. You know, like, this is used, obviously. But it's from the early 90s. It was, I think I had... No, my friend Don-san had Volume 1 of the manga in Japanese in his house, and I borrowed it one time to try to learn Japanese from it, and I didn't read it. Not a fan of Clamp's art.
You're not?
Well, Chobits is fine, but their shoujo stuff is like, it's so flowery, I can't understand what's happening, you know? Like sometimes there's like no backgrounds. Characters are just in a white void, and I don't know what the fuck's going on. But, so, like, I looked at the manga of this and I wasn't into it, but the anime looks really nice. And more importantly, I've also played some of the Sega Saturn game of this, which is fucking great. I was playing it for my show Adventure Action RPG, which I was doing back in 2012, which was, like, the first YouTube show I did. My first attempt at YouTube reviews, and it was, like... just me picking out action RPGs, and I found this Magic Knight Rayearth game for the Saturn, which is super adorable and fun, and it basically retells the plot of the show, but it's even better because you get to play it. But, you know, this has episodes 1 through 4. What do you think? You want to check it out?
Yeah, let's fucking watch.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll end up watching this whole show, because it's long, but we're going to give it a shot, see how we feel at least about the first DVD, because it's not like I own any more of the show.
Yeah.
So, as far as the Otacave expedition goes, technically episodes 1 through 4 should be enough, but we'll see how it goes. I think we might like it. We might.
Okay.
It might be fun.
Pop it in.
Well, we just watched the first DVD of Magic Knight Rayearth, and along with all of its bonus features and trailers and everything, we got the full experience.
The whole fucking shebang.
Of this one DVD. What did you think of this, May?
Should we start with the fucking bonus features?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
We started with the trailers. There were six trailers, most of which were terrible trailers.
Yeah.
Did you want to watch any of those?
The ninja one was kind of, like, interesting.
Ninja
it seemed
Cadets.
generic and of the era, but everything else was, gay.
Yeah. Literally gay. So what was it?
Kids DVD and it had fucking gay
Yeah.
shit.
There was like 3 different yaoi OVAs in there. I'm trying to remember Earthian, Wish, and something else. Marriage. Marriage was straight.
Was it straight?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm pretty sure that was gay.
I have no idea. Marriage I'd never heard of, and it didn't look familiar. I'd never seen any images from that before, and it looked really bad. But Wish was like hard gay. It had like men tongue kissing in it. And Earthian looked boring as fuck. Then there was Elf Princess Rune, which looked bad. And the ninja one, Ninja Cadets, which looked okay. But then the most shocking trailer in there was that they had a trailer for Kite, which is like the most violent, pornographic OVA of all time. And the whole trailer is just people exploding. Yeah. It's just people getting shot and blowing up.
It's fucking badass, but it did not belong on this disc.
No.
It was the best part of this experience.
Yeah, just seeing... And I mean, even then, while it did show lots of cool violence and, you know... If you were a teenager in the 90s, that's enough to make you want that.
Yeah.
They could have shown better scenes from Kite. They could have done a better job. They should have just shown the big famous action scene of the girl falling out of the fucking building. That alone would make you worth the price of admission. But, like, yeah, Kite. Magic Knight Rayearth is a fucking children's cartoon from the early 90s. It's a magical girl show for little girls.
For little girl.
And they have a Kite
But that's
trailer.
why they have all the BL.
Yeah.
Little girls love BL.
Yeah, what little girl doesn't want to watch, like, adult men make out? I guess, I don't know. I don't know what... I mean, I get the sense this was not... Like, this DVD release was not for little girls. This is... And it's just for anime. Because this was released in the late 90s. Back then, as an anime fan, you just kind of took what you could get, you know? I'm thinking probably they expected older women to buy this. You know, maybe even women who had grown up on Magic Knight Rayearth, because this show was on TV in a lot of countries in the early 90s. It's a pretty popular show of the era, important to a lot of people's childhoods, which is probably the only real reason it's remembered today, because it doesn't hold up.
No.
We were pretty bored.
Yeah.
Other special features on the disc.
Oh, dear.
Besides the trailers, there was, like... The funniest one was the list of all the magic attacks in the show and what they're called in Japanese, like the difference between the English and Japanese version, but like an English translation of the Japanese version, half of which are the same. So it would be like
flame arrow in Japanese is flame arrow.
Yeah, like Hikaru's attack, flame arrow, and then it would go down for each character, and like a couple of them were slightly different, and it's like, why did we need this? Mm-hmm. I guess people cared in the 90s. I can see it though, because I remember when I was first getting into anime in the early 2000s, like 2001 or 2, there were lots of fan sites that would just have lists of this information.
Yeah.
You know, so I guess people cared back then, but good lord, who fucking gives a shit? Then you get to the page where it's the character illustrations, which is like just a list of all the characters' names, and you click on one, and it'll take you to like a PNG of them on the background, and like some text describing the character. But then when you click on one, the dub actor like gives a little like, thanks for buying this DVD. Now you've got magic power surging through your veins, or something like that. And man,
they were very proud of the dub.
Yeah,
there's a lot of like just dub.
They
content.
dubbed the OP, the OP and ED. If you watch the dubbed,
I kind of wish we watched this dub.
I kind of did. I thought about changing it after episode 2, but I forgot that I had thought that. Because I was constantly warping in and out of consciousness throughout this disc. Like, I kept having thoughts and then losing them because I was, like, in a fucking trance-like state watching this. The show itself was less entertaining than the bonus footage, to be perfectly honest. Like I just enjoyed going through the DVD and seeing this like corny early 90s DVD, because everything has like the menus are all like try to look rustic and fantasy-ish, but like they're just so cheap and like obviously not made by like graphic designers. And I mean, this is pre Photoshop, I guess. So yeah, everything looks shitty, but in a really charming way. Also, this DVD is crazy quiet. I had to turn this volume on my computer all the way up for it to be like a listenable volume. Mm-hmm. I don't know why that is. But yeah, what did you think of the actual 4 episodes of Magic Knight Rayearth, which as it turns out is a 20-episode show that had a 29-episode second season. So we watched a 5th of the show. What do you think?
It's definitely a relic of the 90s.
Yeah.
Like, watching this today, it just felt really generic and boring, and, like, you've seen this all before. Like, if you're into fantasy, like, yeah, it's cool for 5 minutes, like, oh, they're in a fantasy world, oh, they have fucking fantasy powers, oh, they're magical girls, but, like, I can't really say a lot of great things about it.
No, and I mean, even for the time, the fantasy world itself would have been horribly generic.
Yeah.
I think the only selling point of this show was that the main characters are girls. Like, this, I mean, fantasy is a genre that was always dominated by boys, you know, you play old RPGs, you're playing male characters, you know, and I mean, this draws, obviously, from Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, that brand of fantasy. We commented a lot that the music sounds like Final Fantasy music. Like, it sounds like you're playing Final Fantasy or Zelda or something. And so, I understand why, if you were maybe a little girl in the early 90s, looking for you wanted to get into fantasy, but it's all boy characters, and then all of a sudden there's a fantasy show where it's 3 little girls. In middle school, super relatable, yes, female protagonist, cool. But, you know, in today's world where people insisting that we need female protagonists has led to us actually having shitloads of female protagonists, it's not impressive anymore. Just the fact, like, that's all there is to the show, is that it's girls.
The characters themselves suck.
Yeah. Oh, that's the thing, they have no, like, the characters are just basic personality traits, and that's it. We don't learn anything about them in these 4 episodes.
No.
You've got the green girl,
she's motherly, and she's like the
logical
rational one,
you
know?
She's the good one.
Yeah.
Like, it really is, the green one is good, the red one's okay, and the blue one is shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's, like, straight up. That's almost the defining characteristics of them. The green one says smart things and knows what's going on. The red one's just the go-getter shonen protagonist type, you know, she's hot-blooded and she fucking fights, and she's kind of dumb.
The blue one is retarded and she's a spoiled brat.
Yeah, she's a fucking bitch, and, like, and there's no, like, redeeming quality. It's not like she's smart but a bitch. She's, like, dumb.
No, she's retarded.
She is, if anything, is the dumbest character. Yeah. And she just comes off as a spoiled, arrogant brat who's annoying, and you don't want to watch her.
But she has to make it to her fencing match.
So the plot of the show, it's just 3 girls in Tokyo Tower get teleported to another world. They have to save that world. They get magic. It's fucking way generic.
Yeah.
And the artwork is the best thing about the show by far. The 3 main characters look fantastic.
Their hair looks really cool. There's, like, a lot of shots where, like, their hair is, like, fucking flying up and doing crazy shit. It's, like, interesting. Yeah,
lots of, like, windswept hair. Yeah. And it's so, their character designs are really detailed and, like, consistently detailed. Mm-hmm. Like, every shot, the characters look good.
Even the side characters have, like, a lot of thought put into, like, their design.
Yeah. And the fucking like, the main characters' outfits are phenomenal. They're really good magical girl outfits. They simultaneously look like magical girls, but also like fantasy, but also schoolgirls, you know, all in one.
Yeah,
and
the trifecta.
Yeah, they're all really cute. They're all I don't know. I would totally buy a toy of the main girl, you know, like, if I liked the show, which I don't, unfortunately. But, like, yeah, they're really good designs, and this show does a great job of bringing the designs to animation, which is kind of a problem with Clamp shows. They're not known for being easy to adapt. Cardcaptor Sakura is a great-looking show, but if you look at, like, XXX Holic or Tokyo... I mean, why do I keep saying Tokyo? Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicles, or fucking... Blood Sea or Code Geass, the character designs are always super inconsistent, super all fucking over the place, like, different in every fucking shot kind of thing. So it's rare, and granted, Clamp's designs weren't quite as, like, out there back then. Like, these designs didn't look super distinctive, comparatively. Like, they look like a 90s show. You know, if you had them in a lineup with a bunch of other 90s fantasy shows, they wouldn't stand out that much. Except that they're a little bit more shoujo-y than most. But, like, whereas with modern Clamp designs, they look, you know, you can take a glance at it and go, oh, that's Clamp, they drew that. But nonetheless, the designs look fantastic, except that, like, everyone but the main characters is pretty generic.
Yeah.
The bad guys, They're just the bad guys. Like, they're just wearing, like, a bunch of big spikes on their shoulders,
spikes,
capes, bondage gear on the girl.
Yeah.
As you pointed out, she's an ice user, but nothing about her is ice-themed.
No.
Whereas the main characters... Because the main characters are, like, ridiculously themed. Like, their name, their color, their power, their weapon. It's like everything is exactly
one
that.
glance, you know exactly what that bitch is doing.
Yeah.
The red one, that bitch has fire powers. She has fire arrows.
Yeah, she is fire.
Yeah.
She is the concept of fire. Which is funny now that I think about it. The fire girl and the wind girl, their personalities really match their, like, skills, but the water girl, not at all. She's not like water in the slightest. But, yeah, then there's, like, the ice woman, but she just wears, like, purple bondage gear and nothing to do with ice at all.
Very icy, guys.
Yeah. The monster designs are all, like they're well drawn, but they're just completely generic fantasy monsters. Like, you would, none of them stand out. None of them you would pick out of a lineup. They just look like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, like forgettable Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You know, there ain't no summon skull in there. It's just a bunch of, like, Giga Gagi Gugo. That's a Yu-Gi-Oh monster.
Yeah.
Giga Gaga Gigo. Giga Gaga Gigo.
Yeah.
You're just nodding in approval.
Okay.
Yeah, and they all die in one hit. Every monster.
One slash.
Yeah, they go through episode 3 is like literally nonstop, them just killing monsters in one hit. No tension, no excitement. We watch a lot of it, and we were bored, man. I didn't care.
They were in this endless forest in episode 3, and all they were doing was just walking around, monster would appear, slash through the monster, walk around, monster would appear, slash through the monster for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That was the episode.
It was quite uninteresting.
No.
And then episode 4 is like, that was where it really gets stupid, I thought. Like, because the first 3 are boring because they're generic. We don't care about the characters. We don't care about the world. Even though the background art is beautiful, beautifully drawn, all it is generic fantasy world, you know? Like, if everything was as cool as the main characters look, like, they look like they're from something better than the rest of this world. The rest of it's just completely generic. Well drawn, but completely generic.
There's no personality to the world. Like, they were in the second episode, they were in some bitch's house, and they're supposed to be in this fantasy world, but it just looked like a random library, and they were in a random bedroom. Like, there could have been some personality in the room. No,
there's none.
But there wasn't.
Yeah. I'm thinking about, Twilight Sparkle's library in My Little Pony. Lots of personality. This was not as good, but though that was designed, you know, to be a playset, so it had to have lots of personality. But anyways, yeah, like the episodes were just boring and generic, but I could easily see why, like, if I was a kid in the 90s, I would watch this show. It looks good, it's got action, you know, whatever. Then you get to episode 4 and it's like really dumb because they go to this village and the 3 main characters, they get out of the forest and they get caught in a net trap. And all these villagers come out with spears and they're like, rah, rah, rah. But none of them will talk. None of them will explain why they, like, hate these girls or want to capture them. And then, like, a monster appears and all the villagers run off scared. So then the girls free themselves and they fight the monster. They kill the monster and the villagers are still scared of them. And they all hole up in their houses. And no one will say why. The main character's like, oh, they think we're just as frightening as the monsters. And I'm like, why? Why? You saved them from the monsters. Why? And then the ice bitch shows up and she she suddenly stabs the blue-haired girl. But, like, we just see the blue-haired girl, like, suddenly get hit with something and, like, fall to the ground dramatically. And we both were like, what happened? What's going on? Why is she falling? What's going on? What's happening? And then, the ice bitch shows up and they fight her. And the whole time, it's being really dramatic about Water Girl being like, oh,
she has, like, a little scratch on her face.
Yeah.
She's just on the ground, like, dead.
Because, the ice bitch is like, oh, you'll end up covered in blood like your friend over there. It's like...
just a little tiny
yeah, she just looks a little banged up, and she's like...
Meanwhile, the red bitch is, like, getting getting it.
Yeah, like getting fucking fucked up. But like, yeah, Blue Girl's just like laying there and she's like, oh, I wish I had learned better magic from what's his name, and like, I wish I had really, and we were just like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah.
You are a terrible character. You're really boring and I don't care about you. So, yeah, it was hard to like sit through all the melodramatic shit with these characters that I have no attachment to because I don't know anything about them. I literally don't know anything about them other than the one girl does fencing, and they're all in middle school. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So, do you think you'd ever watch more Magic Knight Rayer?
No. I got a good taste.
Here's the funny part for me is that I remember not really caring for those 4 episodes when I saw... Because I've seen this DVD before, back when I bought it. But I bought it in, like, 2007 or 8. So it's been almost 10 years since I watched it. And at the time... I think because I had thought of this show as like a classic, as like a legendary show that was a big deal to a lot of people, I put it on hold and always intended to get back to it. Watching it again, I'm like, okay, I was right the first time. Like, this obviously is not for me. I shouldn't have put this on hold. I should have dropped this. But I just thought, oh, I have to watch it because it's a classic, you know? But the funny thing is, in the time between them, I played, as I mentioned before, the video game, the Sega Saturn game, which I think is legitimately the better version of this story, because the anime just has so much extra shit. Like, basically, each episode is like, there's an exposition dump, and then a bunch of bullshit that doesn't matter. They fight a bunch of monsters that you don't care about, that aren't interesting, there's no cool fights. You know, they'll meet a character like halfway through the episode and have a couple minutes of dialogue with that character, and then they'll fight a million monsters, and it's really boring. How do you make that exact same thing fun? You get to fight the monsters.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what the game is. Like, it starts off with the cutscene of, like, them getting all their powers explained, and then you play through a level, you kill a bunch of monsters to get to the house of the lady in the cave. And then you get that cutscene of her explaining stuff, and then you fight a bunch of monsters, or you fight the mud monster as a boss. And it's literally the exact same thing, but instead of watching a bunch of shit you don't care about, you play and have fun, and the game's pretty cool because it's an action RPG. You know, I'd still love to play the game, because I legitimately think it's a better version of the show, and it looks really cool, too, because they, like, recreate scenes from the show, but in pixel art.
Oh,
so, yeah, it's kind of dope. So, I would recommend skip Magic Knight Rayer, the anime, unless, I mean, if you grew up with it, you probably still care about it. But I would recommend skipping the anime, downloading a Saturn emulator, figuring out how to make it run, which is not easy, and then playing the video game. The only reason I don't recommend buying it is that it's $300 and really rare. I was at this place called Retro Game Trader in Portland, which is like a huge video game store that has like virtually every fucking game. And they had like a wanted list up on the wall of like games they're trying to hunt for, and Magic Knight Rayer was on there, and they were like, yeah, we're offering like $300 for that game. And I was like, fuck, dude. Because I've always wanted to own it. Like, I want a Saturn just to own that game, but there's no way I'd pay $300 for a video game. Alright, well, that's all I have to say about this show.
Me too.
So, do you want to do another one?
Sure.
Let's do another one. Fancy Lala. Okay. You just go for all the cute pink boxes, don't you?
Yeah.
Fancy Lala is a magical girl show, also from the 90s, not unlike the last one. This one's about an idol girl, though. She turns into like an older version of herself and sings as an idol singer. This is a pretty well-regarded show, I think, among magical girl fans. I don't know too much about it. I've only seen the first episode, so I didn't even... I think I watched the first episode online, bought this disc intending to watch more, and didn't. So, how many episodes we got? 5? Yeah, So she gets scouted and becomes an idol. I don't know much about it other than that. It's from director Takahiro Omori, who later went on to do Bakano and Do-Da-Da-Da. And some other pretty good stuff. So, yeah, he's an alright director. Let's give it a go.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Let's give it a go.
Let's do it.
Alright, well, we just watched the first DVD of Fancy Lala. And, had a good time.
Adorable.
You were way into this.
I loved it.
Tell me why you liked this so much.
I really love the main girl, Miho, I think her name was.
Yeah.
She just, like, reminded me a lot of how I was when I was her age.
Yeah. In what way?
Well, she's very artistic, and, like, the whole entire show, she's, like, always drawing, like, different outfits and shit. And she's like, oh, I want to be a cartoonist when I grow up, and I was all about that. I was always, like, dreaming about what I'd be like when I was older, and it just, like, struck a chord with me. Mm-hmm. She has stars in her eyes, too. Like, even though she's, like, introducing herself to, like, her class, she's, like, super, like, autistic about it. But she, like, still wants to be a fucking star.
Yeah. She thinks she's gonna be famous, even though she literally can't even talk to a classroom full of students. But this is a magical girl show of a sort, a magical idol show, because our main character, Miho, the little girl, transforms into a 15-year-old version of herself.
Why does her hair turn blue?
I don't know. There's no reason other than magic. And she becomes an idol because she pretty much immediately gets scouted for being adorable. Yeah. And it's not really clear. It's not really clear. It's not really clear why she has this power, because there's these two little dinosaur creatures which are adorable. And generally in a magical girl show, usually there's like one or two little mascot characters who show up and they're like, oh, we need you to have this power to, like, fight these monsters that are attacking our world, or, like, to do this or that. They never really explain what they need her for. They're just like, hey, we came to this world and we're giving you powers. Roll with it.
Yeah.
You know? And I guess it doesn't matter, because, like, the show's not really about that. The powers are really just to facilitate the character arc of Miho herself. And the coolest thing about the powers is that it's not just that she turns older, but also that she can draw clothes and bring them to reality through the power. Mm-hmm. And you were way into these clothes.
Yes. Every time she transforms, it is a different outfit, and it's a different outfit that she draws. She has to actually physically put the outfit on, which is a fucking conundrum sometimes.
Yeah.
But it's
she has to put it on before she transforms, is the funny part, because she just has to wear, like, baggy ass clothes that don't fit her and then transform to fit the clothes, which is cool. And so, like, what that facilitates is a transformation sequence, which, even though the, like, animation is the same every time, they actually redo this animation in every fucking outfit she wears. So, like, every episode she wears a different outfit, and yeah, she'll transform to fit it, and, like, you see her, like, growing into the outfit. Mm-hmm. But it's always different, and like, it kind of boggles my mind, because, like, the reason the transformation sequence exists in magical girl shows is to waste time in the episode. Like, it's a cost-cutting technique. You save a minute and a half on animation by showing the same animation you showed in every other episode. But this is not cost-cutting, and this is a cel-animated show, so it's not like if you did this today, you could easily just have layers, you know, and just delete the layers and replace them with something else. This, I don't know, I'm guessing it's traced, like, because it's the exact same animation, except that the clothes are all different. And, I mean, maybe some of it's recolored, because a lot of the outfits are kind of similar. Like, they usually have a turtleneck, I've noticed. But, like, I don't know. They're different enough that it's impressive that they animated it every time.
Draw a lot of it. Like.
Yeah. And this show is beautiful. That's another thing to say. This is a Studio Pierrot show from what exact year did this come out in Japan? I'm wondering. I cannot... Because this DVD came out in 2001... But I'm not seeing any... I know this is from the mid-90s. Studio Pierrot, in their heyday, They did shit like Yu Yu Hakusho and Ninku leading up to this, which are really well animated shows. And the background art is gorgeous. The character designs are gorgeous. The animation's really nice. Everything looks good. It never looks like shit. And it's interesting watching this right after Magic Knight Rayearth, because they're not that far apart in terms of when they came out.
Yeah.
Like, this might have been a few years later. And granted, Magic Knight Rayearth is going for a rustic look. You know, it's like, it's supposed to be a fantasy show. It's supposed to take place in like a classic fantasy world, but it looks so much more dated than this show. Mm-hmm. This holds up really well. Like, this looks contemporary and modern, and granted, again, it's set in a contemporary setting, but of the 90s, and like, while it does, like, there's hints that, okay, this takes place in the 90s, it looks as good now as it must have back then. Magic Knight Rayearth feels like it is firmly in the 90s and should not have been watched at any date after the 90s, you know. This feels relevant even now. Looks great, really well directed. Takahiro Mori is a good guy. It is slow, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Similar to Cardcaptor Sakura, I would say. That show's also pretty slow, but that one's a little bit more like action-y. This one's it's just a slice of life show, really, that happens to have a girl who could transform. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything else you want to bring up about it?
I thought it was really interesting that they waited until episode 5 for her to, like, actually sing, because part of her, she's an idol. It's like...
This show's very deliberately paced.
Yeah.
And it even... I felt like episode 4, it took us... Like, it was already slow, but it took a step back, kind of, to get even slower.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first episode is, like, introducing us to the main character and her family and everything, and then she gains the powers, like, right at the end. And then in episode 2, it's about her getting scouted by the talent agency, and that happens pretty quick. Then episode 3 is, like, her first thing that she does with the talent agency. So, like, you have this sense of progression. And then episode 4, like, really, like, deliberately goes out of its way to be, like, about a boring day in her life. It's like, nothing's going on. Like, she's supposed to get another gig, and it gets canceled. And she's supposed to do all this stuff with, like, other people, and it all gets canceled, and it's just her, like, bored at home.
Yeah.
And then she hangs out with her dad all day, and it's fucking adorable.
I love the relationship she has with her parents. Like, she's spoiled by her dad, and you can tell that she wants to have, like, a relationship with her mom, but she's a workaholic. And
yeah.
It's really interesting. Like, I really want to learn more about their family.
It's interesting that this show, this is a show for kids, but, like, as an adult watching it, like, it does such a good job of portraying a spoiled family.
Yeah.
Like, that the dad's kind of in this state of mind of, like, he's kind of bumbling and, like, not really sure what's going on, but he's okay with whatever's going on, and he'll just get his daughters whatever they want. There's, in episode 2, there's a part where the older sister just comes up to him and is like, hey, she, like, serves him coffee, and she's like, oh, having your cute daughter serve you coffee, doesn't it kind of make you want to buy her things? And he's like, and then she, like, says, tell me the story of how you and mom got engaged, and he's like, alright, let's go shopping. And then, you know, in episode 4, he sees, like, the magical creatures make a huge mess of the kitchen, and he thinks Miho did it. And rather than scolding her, he's like, oh, you must have been really hungry. Let me make you a spectacular meal. Tries to cook for her, even though he can't cook. And then when that fails, he's like, let's go out to eat. And they go on a whole, like, all-day date excursion.
Daughter date.
Yeah, and at the end, he even tells her, you don't have to grow up. Like, he wants her to be his little girl forever. And, like, yeah, he spoils the living shit out of his daughters. And, like, the show is aware of that. It's not accidental. It's showing you like, it knows this, but it's a show for kids, so it's not, like, it's not doing it in, like, a dark or something way. It's just, like, really funny to watch as an adult. They live in a fucking huge house with a beautiful garden on the roof and shit, and, like, yeah, it's a nice... She's got a loft bed in her bedroom.
Yeah.
Good life. Good fucking life, man. Yeah, the dad's a lot of fun. The whole family's adorable. I like all the fashion designer people, too. They're all cool.
They all have, like, a weird quirk.
Yeah. This is one of those shows that falls into a category, a type of show I'm a big fan of, which is shows where just everyone is really good-natured and everyone's on the same team, you know? Like, there's no antagonist in this show. There's no bad guys. There's no one who's, like, got bad intentions. Everyone's just good people. They all just want the best for each other. You know, like, the family are all close. The people at the agency, like, it can be scary sometimes because we don't know what the situation's, you know, like, she has to go on TV. Oh, what's that gonna be like? But everyone involved is nice. Everyone just wants, you know, they're professionals. They just want to do good work, you know. There's nothing skeevy about it. There's never, like, a moment of panic about, like, people. And I love that because that's how I want to see the world, you know. That's what I, like, choose to believe the world is like from here in my room where I don't leave and don't have to face the reality of a shitty world. What else is there to say about this show?
How did you feel about the opening dream sequence?
Fucking weird.
Yeah.
The show opens on, like, a really bizarre dream sequence where she's, like, the family are, like, cave people, and then they see dinosaurs ravaging the land, and, like, it's just foreshadowing that she's gonna meet a couple of adorable little dinosaurs. There's also this mystery man,
he didn't show up in the last couple of episodes we watched.
He was in the rafters in episode 4, wasn't he?
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
briefly, but he's just this fat guy who's, I don't know, something about him is really pleasant to me.
Yeah.
He's a type of fat that I like. I would hug that mystery man.
I would hug him as well.
But it's just like some weird guy who shows up and, like, obviously knows what's going on, but, like, and that's the other thing about the show. There's magic in it, but it's, like, it is kept to an absolute minimum. Like, it's just there to facilitate the characterization of Miho. This show is, you know, the characters look very realistic. The only character who has, like, weird anime hair is the transformed version of Miho.
Yeah.
So, you know, everyone's pretty real looking. The setting feels real. You know, the adults act like adults. The kids act like kids, and you know, everything feels like it would in our world. The only thing magical about it is that there's these two little dinosaurs that make it so Miho can transform, and they occasionally do little magic stuff on the side, but, like, there's no other magical people, there's no plot revolving around the magic, like, it's just there to facilitate this plot about this little girl who transforms into a slightly older girl and is a pop idol, you know? Which, yeah, she only transforms by, like, what, a couple of years. Because her adult form is supposed to be 15.
She's, like, probably 9.
Yeah, she's, like, 9 or 10, so, you know, she's only transforming up by a little bit.
Yeah. But
it's enough that she can be a model in Japan's fucked up modeling industry, where 15-year-olds are scouted off the streets of Harajuku to go fucking be on TV and shit without their parents' permission.
What was your favorite outfit?
Oh, man. Probably the yellow one in episode 5 with the big hat. I like big hats. What was yours?
Definitely the first one. I love that, like, the pink shirt with, like, the see-through raincoat thing. I thought that was really fucking cute. I would totally wear that.
Is there anything in the show you wouldn't wear?
Some of her, like, tomboy outfits are just, like,
they're a little too boyish.
Yeah, she had, like, the boy short of, like, the, like, fucking hoodie thing, and it's like, you look like a little boy. Yeah. But it's still cute. I just wouldn't wear it.
I think that's kind of a 90s style.
Yeah, definitely. It is very 90s.
Nobody wears that now. I mean, all of it's very 90s, but a lot of them are still adorable and still totally cool. I love the big hats. Like, the yellow outfit has the big hat. Do you have any other comments on stuff like the fashion design? The fucking way that the little dinosaurs turn into different accessories.
Oh my gosh, yes.
There's a scene, because the first time happens because they start off, they turn into bracelets, and then they're like, she's like, oh, the bracelets don't go with the outfit, so, like, cool, so they become earrings, which we were like, oh, that's adorable. Then in the next episode, they turn into fucking sunglasses, and it was so cool. We were like, yes. If you like fashion, like, if you like clothes, you should watch this
Definitely.
show. Like, no question. It goes so far. Like, everyone's well-dressed. All the side characters, everyone in the background. I mean, again, it's very 90s fashion, but, like, it's good. It's good outfits. And Miho's got a great sense for outfits and, you know, comes up with lots of cute shit. And, again, different outfit transformation sequence every single fucking episode. And also, if you just like super cozy, fucking laid back shows, like this is the comfiest shit in the world. I mean, every episode is just like lay the fuck back and watch it, but it feels good because it's so well directed and timed and like every scene is paced really well, you know, and the images are paced well. I just really, it's pleasant to look at. It's pleasant to watch. And one more thing I really like about Miho is the fact, again, that she is, like, a competent manga artist. Like, even though she wants, like, her main thing is she wants to be famous and she wants to do all this idol work, like, she still sees herself as eventually becoming a manga artist. Like, that's what she's always been kind of working up towards and what she sees as, like, her eventual career. And she's good at it. So it feels like that is actually what she will be doing. Like, I mean, by the end of the show, assumably, she's either going to lose her fancy Lala powers or something. Like, she's surely not going to keep transforming into this forever, and eventually she'll just be 15. But it's like, I don't see her continuing to do idol work as likely as I see her going into manga. So it's kind of interesting to think of this as like a random phase in her life where this is just a thing she was doing. Like, it's not even really connected to her goals. It's not like she's living her dreams by transforming, which there's a similar magical girl show to this, Full Moon o Sagashite, which is another little girl who transforms into an older version of herself to be a pop idol, but like her goal was to be a pop idol. That's what she wanted, you know. In this show, it's just like totally a tangent. It has nothing to do with what her goals were, other than that she wants to be famous.
I think she's way more into the guy, like the drama guy, than the actual modeling. Yeah,
she's more into the fact that there's her celebrity crush is involved in all of this, who seems like a fun guy.
Yes. Going
by the last episode we watched. This show is 26 episodes long. We watched the first 5 on this DVD. How likely are you to finish this show?
I really want to finish. I want to watch more of it at least. I don't know if I would watch the whole thing, but
I feel like it seems like it's gonna go places.
Yeah.
You were out of the room when the next episode preview was coming on, but I think there's gonna be a love triangle between Fancy Lala, the celebrity crush, and the girl who he's like dating. So that's what they were setting up. So I think this show could go places. And the fact that it's only 26 episodes long is promising to me. We're in the middle of watching Animal Tante Kiruminzu at the same time, which is fucking great. But it's 50 episodes long, and we're right in the middle of the totally unnecessary episodes segment of the show, where it's like, because it had to be 50 episodes, there's a bunch of bullshit episodes that don't need to happen. And I don't feel like this will have that because it's 26 episodes. And so far, you know, even the slower episodes have felt meaningful. Like, you know, her just hanging out with her dad and stuff gave us such a good portrait of their characters that, I don't know. I don't see this one going downhill.
Yeah, there's 21 more transformation sequences we have to see.
21 more fucking adorable outfits. Yeah. So, I think that's a sterling recommendation from both of us.
2 thumbs up. A big contrast between fucking
Magic Knight Ray Earth, Which I'm glad that we have like another magical girl show from the 90s that we just happened to pick up and we both really liked, as opposed to the one that we didn't like at all. So, you know, it has nothing to do with the genre or time period. I guess you could say the genre because it was fantasy, and we're obviously not interested in... But we are both fantasy fans.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy is your favorite game series.
Yes.
And I love, you know, fantasy shows like Log Horizon, and it's another good fantasy show.
SAO. Kidding.
What's a good fantasy anime?
Konosuba.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we're like sitting on a Konosuba.
Yeah, we are Konosuba right now.
Yeah. That's it for this episode, I
Yeah.
guess. I had a good time.
Me too.
Digi and May's Otacave expedition will continue in the future, unless everyone hates it for some reason.
They probably will.
But I enjoyed it.
It was fun.
And this is basically, I've always wanted, I've said this before in vlogs, that I've always wanted a show that's just about pulling things off my shelf and watching them. And I've never had, it's always weird to do that myself, because I'm going to go in there with like, oh, it's got to be this most obscure thing in my collection. Let me find, oh, this thing that I have no interest in watching right now, but I got to play it. It's much easier to have someone else pick it for me. And then it's just like, well, whatever you picked, that's what we're doing, you know. And I had this on hold with 2 episodes for the last 7 years. So we finally continued it, and it's a good time. Maybe we'll even finish it. But she's as bad at finishing stuff as I am, so who knows. That's it. Bye.
Bye.